Well, I'm really honored to be here talking with you today, Elya. I love hearing about what you're doing at Innovorg. It is revolutionary. It's changing the way that companies can be prepared with their skills force for the next level. What's your elevator pitch about Innovorg?
That's a good question. You know, we've been in business now almost for 4 years. And one of the challenges I actually had for a long time is making sure that the message value proposition is clear for the companies. And the way I describe ourselves now, we're essentially to allow data center and cloud companies to optimize their workforce. Plus, we have elements like career pathing, high potential employee program. It's sort of all-in-one solution that allows you to build the best workforce and prepare it for the future.
Why is that so important, and so important now in the evolution of the digital infrastructure industry?
Well, first of all, the current workforce is aging. We all know that. By 2027, it's predicted for the data center industry alone to have 300,000 unfilled jobs. There's a lot of scarcity of talent, but more so there's the AI evolution that's really impacting the workforce in a way of optimization and automation. Certain jobs no longer going to be relevant in several years. Companies need to really prepare their workforce to make sure they're upskilled, reskilled, ready for the future. So it's a combination of the current needs, sustaining the current operations, filling the current skill gaps, but also preparing your staff for the future. And, you know, if you look at Gartner and all of the major publications right now, everybody's talking about the skills gaps and the scarcity of talent. It's more relevant today, I think, than it has ever been before.
How are companies managing through this workforce development challenge today if they don't have Innovorg as a platform?
Well, that's a good question. Most of our prospects today, and even new clients as they were joining Innovorg, it's all manual processes. Unfortunately, a large number of companies still running Excel spreadsheets for their skills and competency frameworks. A lot of learning and development companies generating and aggregating content manually. We're literally talking copy and paste, right, from the internet. And quizzes are obviously generating quizzes for, thousands sources of content manually. It's literally impossible. So most of the companies still, unfortunately, are on the manual processes. And that definitely has certain cost impact as well, because you need to have a significant amount of resources to be able to cover your staff, depending obviously how big the company is, but it's mostly manual processes.
So you've been working with some of the largest companies and some of the most innovative companies in our space. You're customizing the platform for them and empowering them to get more connected to their workforce, to get their workforce skilled up. What are some of the most different or exciting ways that companies have been using the platform, the knowledge and the capabilities that you may not have anticipated in the past?
That's a great question. I always say we don't build what customers are not willing to adopt. Specifically, we started developing a high potential employee program and career pathing with the requirements from our clients. One of the customers actually specifically contracted us out to build this product, and this product will be available for the rest of our customers. Essentially, what it implies is you have the skills, you have the roles, you have the learning, you have the learning objectives. Now, how do you translate it into employee retention and employee development, really? And that's where the high employee potential program comes in, where you can take all of this data and collect additional information and prepare your staff for the future, essentially build up your future C-suite, fill certain roles that are really scarce, like let's say if we talk about data scientist or AI specialist, or roles that are really difficult to fill. So that's where the hyper program comes in. And career pathing, that's another element. A lot of companies struggle figuring out how do you systematize career pathing. because everybody's saying, hey, we have level 1, 2, 3 roles, but how do you really provide your employees systematic feedback and clear direction of how do they get from level 1 to level 2 or from 2 to 3? This is the question. And we are essentially building those capabilities in platform and connecting it all to learning, mentorship, events, coaching, stretch assignments. So everything in one package.
So I'm going to ask a tough question here, because we know that hiring is not just about skills. It is about, a cultural fit. It's about a person's passion and interest. It's about the soft skills. So how do you account for those types of skills in your platform, or don't you?
Well, we initially started the platform skills catalogs with technical skills. Like our focus been the first, I would say, year or two primarily on technical skills. But the last couple of years, we rapidly shifted, really, especially with the enterprise clients coming in, larger clients coming in. They are focused a lot on human skills, communication skills, ability to empathize, ability to sell and present the brand. So we have now a really large library of soft skills, communication, leadership skills, content that's related to that, simulations generated by AI, quizzes on the subject. So we are currently focused a lot on the soft skills aspects, but in addition, there's also functional skills as well. And functional skills, we describe them as skills that are really specific to the industry or specific to your company that cannot be found anywhere else. And we also catalog, inventory, evaluate the skills, and deliver the content for those type of competencies as well.
It's awesome. I'd love to have you walk through what a go-to-market project looks like, from idea, concept to implementation. On how would a company bring Innovorg's platform into their organization? How do they conceptualize their needs, and then how do you work with them to customize so that it can work for them today, and how do you make sure that it continues to work for them through tomorrow?
Absolutely. Well, we work a lot with various types of companies. As you know, we serve the data center, managed service provider, cloud market. We have hosters in our portfolio as well. We make sure that initially, as part of our onboarding process, we have a full business review and intake where we take the time to understand their business, their functional units, their roles, identify their gaps in terms of the role design, and we customize the competency framework specifically for them. Even though we have a really large library of skills and competencies, we still make sure that the library is fully customized for that company, and every company has certain elements that differentiate them from others. So we build the competency framework. We essentially are the ones that create the skills to roles maps and skill targets. We take all of that admin overhead away from our clients. We manage everything. The only thing really they do is they sign off on the designs. Once the competency framework is ready, we activate the employees in platform, and we essentially run the skills gap analysis with employees. As soon as skills gap is complete, we launch the learning experience and platform, and it's a fully adaptive learning experience. So it's based on employee individual tenure in the company, their role, their personal preferences, but also their skill gaps. So employees start learning, and as the learning kicks off, we have what we call job scorecard module, where the learning objectives and the development plans gets activated, and month over month employees start seeing elements like what's their engagement rate, how much time do they spend learning, how much time is spent on future skills versus current skills. And the company is able to direct their employees on certain elements where, some companies really want to spend 50% of time on upskilling. Another company wants to spend 80% of time on upskilling. So all of that is manageable, and essentially companies can fully administer it within the platform. We also run monthly business reviews with all of our clients where we check in on the data points, we look at the trends, we collaborate on learning campaigns, learning paths, we add additional content in customized content in addition to automatically aggregated content that they already receive. Most of our clients run 100 skills per roles, 100 plus skills, and thousands of, tens of thousands of learning resources in their content catalogs today.
Wow. How important is the comparable data that you get access to, right? You've got multiple clients, multiple companies. I would assume that, working in the digital infrastructure sector, there could be similarities in job roles and functions, and some companies or some skill sets may be stronger or others. Is that information helpful to help set expectations, or do you use that information in any way?
Well, we do look at ourselves as a data company. We do have a lot of data available to us. And obviously, as employees progress through their career paths and their learning journeys, there's more information available. We are using that data currently to really improve our content generation, content aggregation, in-platform experience. I could see Innovorg gradually becoming an authority in the space where we're able to deliver best-in-class suggestions on, let's say, roles design, because we are seeing a lot of engineering roles for sure, and we're seeing content relevant to engineering roles, engineering credits required, certification required. So we could start delivering models for companies out of the box that they could take advantage of, so they don't have to build roles ground up. They can just take advantage of the libraries that's already available. And we, in fact, already have ready-to-go role libraries for our clients. I think the next step for us would be positioning ourselves as an authority in the space as we gradually progress.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, I see you as just starting to kind of hit your stride a little bit, right? Where there's so much that you have learned in the first 4 years, right?
Yeah, we're a young company.
Business, right? Young company. And you're learning and you're adopting those learnings and adapting your platform for that. What are some of the things that you're working on that are just starting to fulfill the user experience in your platform? Any kind of partnerships or other type of initiatives that are adding a robustness and depth to what you're doing?
Sure. Well, from a partnerships perspective, we made a couple announcements this year, which were really exciting. There's a number of really high quality, reputable content providers in our industry and event providers. So we've been really honored to partner with DICE Bizno Events, which really focus on data center industry. And Adam and his team, they have events running throughout the entire year. So it's really fantastic. So we have those events now aggregated and presented to our clients based on their skills gaps. We also recently announced a partnership with Structured Research. In fact, this event infrastructure is part of the Structured Research organization. It's really fantastic for the industry. We are planning to announce more partnerships. We are currently in active talks with a number of content providers in the industry. So watch out for more news. That's on a partnership side, but there's another element we're really focused on is continuous AI integration into the platform. And we already have content generation capabilities in platform through AI, quiz generation, content aggregation. Now what we're really focused on a lot is the coaching and feedback management development plans with AI. And I think this is really the future of coaching and mentorship as we progress into the next couple of years, where you will be taking advantage of the technology and being coached live on certain gaps that you have based on the job requirements that you're in. So we're really excited to be literally at the edge of technological revolution right now with AI integration.
That's really cool. How do you keep your customers up to date on all of the great things that you have going on?
Yeah, we actually been really honored to partner with Ilissa and her team, specifically iMiller publication, launching our newsletter this year. And we have quarterly newsletter that we release on all of the news and everything that's happening in the company. We have a really great blog on our website. A lot of announcements are being made. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're keeping our prospects and clients in the loop. But also, as I mentioned, we have monthly business reviews. We also send product announcements. All of our clients have weekly digests that include not only data specific to their company, but also some news from Innovorg, mostly on the product development side.
So you mentioned you're, a data company, but you're also a software developer company, which means that you are in full control for what you are able to create for your clients. How important is customization for the companies that you're working with in today's industry, day and age?
A lot of clients, they're coming in now to us. We noticed even really large clients, we're talking thousands of employees on board. They're looking for a bit of an authoritative guidance from us on what is best in class, what they have certain ideas, certain vision, but we find the models that we have built, the libraries we developed, the system that we have developed is really robust and can meet the requirements of our industry. Don't forget, we are purpose-built for data center and cloud industry. We don't serve other sectors, and that allows us to really be focused on the requirements that our clients have. Certain customizations definitely take place, and as I said, we don't build what our clients not asking for, but we're noticing as we mature, less custom requirements come in because we've thought of everything they might need and more. So it's been a really rewarding journey for sure the last couple of years serving the clients that we have.
What's the average time frame to get a company from initial discussion to onboard it into the Innovorg platform and deployed internally?
That's a good question. It really depends on the size of the team, but generally 4 to 6 weeks we stand up the company fully. So from the time we kick off the onboarding to the time learning experience starts. So we're trying to minimize the time, but one of the aspects of onboarding is also demo sessions, employee information sessions, right? So we make sure that employees are aware of the new program that's being put in place. We actually run live demos with the employees. We manage the communication with the staff fully. So that sometimes can add an extra week or two there to the onboarding process. But generally 4 to 6 weeks, the companies are up and running.
It's pretty amazing. Where do people find you? How do they get in touch with you, Elya?
Innovorg.com. Please check us out online. You also can find me on LinkedIn, Elya McCleave. Definitely ready and always open to connect with other folks from our industry.